if I'm to holistically look at a trajectory of my timeline of the pursuit of something I desired so bad, something I craved, which is fame. I think Mwanza was fame 1.0, Dar es Salaam was fame 2.0. Unfortunately, fame, amazing as it sounds, beautiful as it is, powerful as it is, has lots of unintended consequences and repercussions. And of course, one of them is it's a double-edged sword, for lack of a better word. One of them is access to exclusive VIP from people, societies, people with influence, spaces with powerful people, favors as little as queuing up in a bank hall like we used to do back in the day, before the digital era, where you're in a queue and the teller sees you and waves at you, and then she gives you another eye and she calls you and you come and you give her your documents, and she gives you an express pass. That express pass to to clubs. Between 2006 and 2000, I think 8. I never bought any clothes. Like my wardrobe was were people just giving me clothes either out of love, either out swap deals or endorsements, but I never spent a penny on clothing. You go into a restaurant, before you look at a menu, someone wants to buy you food. You walk into a club or a bar, and before even you decide what you want to have, someone is like, okay, muwe chupa nyao on the house. You understand? You have all sorts of temptations, lots of admirers, both in public and secret. You attract so many people. There's the opposite gender. If you're not careful and disciplined, you could find yourself going down the wrong path and abusing people. So many things. I had good pay. I was living well. Good neighborhood. Leafy suburb. But at the end of the day, I felt like there was a void. I was making people happy. I was serving happiness. When you're in the business of serving happiness, but then you start questioning yourself, but who serves me happiness? You understand? So at the end of the day, the other repercussion or unintended consequence that comes as a result of abnormal fame is loneliness. And this is something that you can't be taught in school or from the onset when you're starting out. Sometimes they say, this is when now the phrase, beware what you wish for, makes a lot of sense. So I found myself empty. I was in a beautiful relationship, a beautiful lady at the time, but you still feel empty. You understand? So you're driving, you're financially stable, but you're lonely. You're lonely and you just can't tell. And maybe in hindsight, this is one of the things that maybe made the industry, worldwide, globally, lose people like Avicii. So that loneliness is it's indescribable. It's not something you can recklessly mouth off with anybody. You understand? Unless they're also going through the same situation, they're also traveling the same journey, or it's an expert, for lack of a better word. But loneliness on indescribable levels. Imagine yourself in a foreign country. You're probably almost hitting depression levels. Your mental state is not 100. It's not solid. It's not 100%. You're not 100%. Basically, you're not solid, and you're in a community that embraces superstition. Okay, black magic, witchcraft, sorcery. I'll give you a very funny example. We had colleagues who, they are famous, by the way. They are famous even in Tanzania. They hail from Tanga. Tanga is also another coastal town. These guys, every end month, they will receive their salary, and what they will do is board a bus, go back to Tanga to allegedly bewitch foreigners, foreigners that they work with. So you can wake up one morning and pack your things and flee and leave. So imagine you're famous, you're confused, those are the people you interact with on a daily. You understand? There's a way that also messes up with your psyche. You probably start making certain imaginations real. Start believing certain things. You become irrational. Decision making becomes questionable. The other thing is probably something I've never shared in public or on camera. Most of these media entities that I've had a chance to work with, and they've given me a chance to to flourish and and build a name for myself and build a brand for myself. These are family businesses. So what happens is with a family business, yes, you can be a manager regardless of your level in management. Sit in a boardroom, discuss ideas here and there, plan for Nairobi, plan for Kampala, plan for Dar es Salaam, plan for this ABCD. Guys go back home on a family dinner and flip the conversation, and tomorrow they come and tell you, look, what we discussed in the boardroom yesterday, won't cut it. This is what we're going with. That's frustration, right? There's also a time where I felt like I'd grown through the ranks, like exponentially, grown through the ranks, astronomically. And the only position left at that time, there was a chairman, there was a CEO, then there was an MD. But the CEO is the godfather of the business, he's the founder of the ecosystem, okay? The MD is his son, the CEO is the daughter, you understand? The GM is maybe another son. What else is left for you there? What else? For someone who's as ambitious as I am, what else is left for you there? You can't unseat all those guys. So again, you remember that character, the drifter, the guy who runs away from situations, kicks in. So towards the end of 2008 actually, at the beginning of 2008, we normally had official retreats where we would brainstorm about the next financial year, projections, prospects and things like that. So I make a very beautiful presentation of where I want the radio to go and part of the TV to go. I remember at that time, Rodney Mengi had passed on. He passed on in 2006. We buried him at the foothills of Mount Kilimanjaro in Moshi. So family had taken over, and of course they also came with their own mindset where they wanted the business to go. And those of us who had over interacted with Rodney Mengi, the late at that time, had embraced his vision, and were hell bent on making sure that vision comes to life. But new drivers in the chief driver's seat with different aspirations for the business. So I put together this really beautiful presentation for the next year, which was to be 2008 going onwards. But at the end of the presentation, I unceremoniously announced how I want to be able to be present. I won't be present basically to help guide and execute that plan. There was silence in that boardroom. You could almost hear a pin drop. So with all those things, summarized as baggage, loneliness, empty space, lack of purpose, lack of direction, zero focus, in a superstitious environment, there's no more growth. There's no more growth that's guaranteed through the company ranks. I packed my bags, and next destination was Nairobi. We find out what happened in Nairobi next.